I remember hearing a shocking statistic, like crazy amount of caregivers actually pass away before the person that they're caring for.
Yeah, as they say that 63% of caregivers uh, pass away before the person that they're caring for. In the sense that, like, if you are someone else this your same age who is healthy, you have the chance of passing away before the person that you are caring for, and that was very startling to me. I didn't realize that caregiving could be so bad for your health, but it was the wake up call that I needed to know that we need to care for ourselves in order to be able to show up and care for our person. That's just
Yeah.
the way it is.
And
But
women,
it's not set up like that. Yeah.
no, yeah, throughout time, we put everybody else first, and we are the natural caregivers and the nurturers, but we put ourselves at the bottom of the list and neglect ourselves, and then we're the ones that get sick and so, which takes us to there's so much to dive into today, especially brain health is at the core of it all. But Make Time Wellness, the company that you both started together, is about that, making time, like nurturing ourselves and our brains so that we can show up as better mothers and partners and friends and people and just citizens of the earth. Because we naturally want to take care of others, but Make Time Wellness is helping us to take care of ourselves in a sustainable way.
No, well,
So,
thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, yes, there's so many of us in that sandwich generation now, caring for young children as well as aging parents. I became a caregiver to my husband very unexpectedly. And yeah, I mean, I just think this book is really, you know, it's really about at some point in our lives, we will need care or we will give care to someone else. And this topic of caregiving is not talked about enough until you are in it. And it is really important that we are just talking about it. It was important for me to be able to share what I've learned because I knew nothing about caregiving until I had to become a caregiver. And it's very eye opening. So, this book is really about me being able to share parts of my story, as well as I brought in 25 experts and specialists who I surrounded our family with. And I knew that I was sitting on valuable information. And what I realized is that caregivers are so unseen, they're unsupported. Many don't have the time, access, or resources to be able to tap into the experts that I've been able to. And I knew I wanted to share it with the next caregiver because the information that I was receiving, I knew was important and was really helpful for me and our family.
Yeah, and I
yeah, I mean,
remember in the beginning, I mean, they gave you had nothing.
Oh no,
Yeah.
we walked out of our appointment with a diagnosis I couldn't pronounce. My husband was diagnosed with a brain disease called frontotemporal degeneration, or FTD, and that was it. No hope, no roadmap, no support, nothing. Just a check back in a couple of months, and that's not just my story. That's so many people's stories. And that was just really my first taste of like, you're a caregiver, off you go. Good luck.
and how have you both managed, startup world, caregiving world, parenting world, like, and making time for yourselves? I mean, there's one thing to take a gummy, but there's also like we need full holistic like mental health, rituals and routines and self care. I've been learning to balance the two. I still fail at it every day, but I've gotten a lot better, but I've struggle with guilt, like putting myself first, or doing like I'm doing a 10-day cleanse, reset, detox, and this woman comes to my house every morning, and like 3 days in, my daughter's like, "Can you wait till after I go to school?" Because I was trying to get it done before she went to school, and then drop her off at school. And I was like, yes, of course, no problem. And like, then I gave her 2 days, and then I was like, would it be okay if we did it? And she's like, yeah. So it's just finding that juggle of balance of like, prioritizing the children's needs, but also like knowing that on the other end of this, I'm going to be such a clearer, better, more present, patient, healthier mom.
But I also think like it's important. I know I know that your daughter wants your time and you want to give your attention to your daughter, but I also think like what an incredible gift that you're giving her to see that you are prioritizing yourself and your health and your needs. Because that's what you're teaching her as well. That like, later on in life, she's going to realize like, oh no, I remember my mom was like looking after herself and really trying to take care of herself so that she could, better show up for me.
Absolutely.
It's just about like finding things that feed your soul. And that is what the movement's about. It's just about finding time to reconnect to you because so many of us lose ourselves in being a mother, a caregiver, an entrepreneur, a businesswoman. I mean, we just get so stuck in our calendars and we just need to like connect to being us again.
I think that there's therapy. Talk therapy is very important. And we also say, like, if you can't talk to a therapist, talk to a friend, like getting it out of you. And whether to a friend, to a therapist, or on paper, it's just so therapeutic. And so just making sure that it's getting out in some fashion, I think is really, really important to help any sort of season that you're in.